Hey there, if you are on a journey of personal growth, healing, and transformation, and you ask yourself the question, but how do I truly heal myself? And when do you truly know that you're healed? And how do I truly create change? Then this video is for you. Because in this video, I'm going to talk about a very important aspect of the healing journey. Something that is not really talked about enough, I think, and a lot, and something that you really need to create true change. And this aspect, this concept is called emotional tolerance. And I'm going to explain to you in this video what it is, how you can increase your level of emotional tolerance, and how this can help you to create true change, to transform yourself in your life, and to finally start with living the life you dream of. So buckle up, set yourself a nice cup of tea, and let's dive into it. So how do you increase your emotional tolerance level? How do you do that? And how can that help you to create true change? Well, first, emotional tolerance is nothing more than creating a space, a pause between the stimuli of the external world and your reaction to that. When you have experienced trauma, experience a deep shame, feel unworthy, have a fear of abandonment, rejection, etc., then it is possible that you are very defensive or reactive to the world. You feel very unsafe inside and you project this out into the world because you never created this sense of safety inside of you. And this unsafety that you perceive in the world is triggering all your insecurities, all your fears, and all your traumas, and your defense or your coping or survival mechanisms. And feeling so unsafe inside of you and so much intense emotions around that unsafety inside of you most of the time causes you to want to run away from yourself, from what is happening inside your body, to numb it, to stuff it away, to avoid it, to dissociate from it, to distract yourself from it, to not be present with it and sit with it and just allow it to be there and go through your body. And increasing your emotional tolerance level asks of you to stay present with whatever you experience inside of your body. And the more you can stay present with what is happening inside of you, the more you can just sit and be with yourself and create a pause before you react to the world again. And if you are able to create this pause, then all your behavior is not a consequence and reaction anymore to your past, but it is a conscious choice, a conscious creation in the present moment. This can help you to choose new behavior, a new reaction or a new creation to the world around you and to yourself and to your thoughts and to the sensations that you feel inside your body. So how do you do that? How do you increase your emotional tolerance level? Well, I guess by watching this video, you have already taken the first steps, because the first step is creating self-awareness around who you are and why you are the way you are. Increase awareness around what happened to you in your past, the family system you grew up in, the society you grew up in, and how that all influenced you to be the person who you are today. Your negative childhood experiences, the emotional neglect, traumas, but also the positive experiences, your role in the family system. How was your relationship with your mother and your father? How was their relationship with their mother and their father? How is your relationship to yourself? How is your sense of self? How is your level of shame and guilt and fear and anxiety? What are your insecurities? What are you most afraid of in your relationships to come true? What are your relationship style? How do you attach to people? Are you more anxious attached? Are you more avoidant attached? And all the attachments styles in between. How do you respond to the world? Which pain do you carry with you? What do you feel most responsible for if you look in the world and you ask yourself, which suffering in the world hurts me the most, and how does that relate to my own suffering, etc., etc. Get to know yourself on a very deep level. Create self-awareness around who you are and why you are the way you are, how you respond, what your shadow sides are, what your flaws are, how you respond when you're triggered, what your biggest triggers are, what your trauma is, your insecurities, etc. Then understand which mechanisms you have created to protect yourself from feeling the pain and the hurt from the past again. protection mechanisms or coping mechanisms, they're also called in this field of psychology. Which mechanisms, or even relationship styles, mechanisms that you create to protect yourself from getting hurt. This can be people-pleasing, this can be narcissistic tendencies, this can be activism, this can be anger, this can be hurt, this can be learned helplessness, this can be procrastination, this can be self-sabotage, this can be avoidance, this can be eating, this can be addiction, this can be distracting yourself, this can be numbing yourself, this can be anything and everything. But get to know what your protection mechanisms are, how you keep yourself safe, and how these are helping you and not helping you anymore. So understand that when you are triggered, when your deepest wounds, insecurities, or traumas are triggered, know how you respond to that and what you do to sabotage yourself. And sabotage is not a bad thing. It's a way of protecting yourself, right? To keep yourself safe. So for example, I know that when I'm triggered in my deepest core wounds, I know that I get in my head and I start with self-doubt immediately. I started to doubt myself. I'm starting to tell myself I'm a bad person, and I just do not allow myself to create anymore, to share these videos with you, to even enjoy life where I am right now. I just get in my head, I get dissociated, I get distracted, I get anxious, and well, I know self-doubt is the biggest one for me. So I get in my head and I start to doubt everything that I do, and I sometimes lose myself in that doubt for days or weeks. And I'm very aware of that. I'm very aware of what my mechanisms are, what my triggers are, what I do. Also in relationships, I start to resent the people in my relationships. I start to blame them for all kinds of things. I start to become really angry at the world, at the oppression of women, etc. Right? So, and then I know, okay, these are my mechanisms. This is how I respond. And then I know, I recognize this now. And with this recognition, so with all this knowledge, you can start to recognize it. I can then focus myself onto myself and focus on what is happening inside my body. I then can investigate, but wait, all this self-doubt, all these thoughts, all these beliefs, all this anger, all this resentment, all this chaos and busyness in my head, all this stress, right, is a reaction to the emotional dysregulation in my body. So there is a past wound or a suppressed emotion triggered. And then I know I have to focus on the suppressed emotion inside my body. And I have to work with that. So the next step will be work with the suppressed emotions in your body. Start working on a somatic level to heal yourself, to understand the suppressed emotions, to feel them, to release them, and to integrate them, to understand your emotional body. And if you have taken the steps to emotionally heal, to somatically heal, you create slowly this tolerance level inside your body and this awareness that if you are triggered, if you have all these mechanisms activated, you recognize it, then you understand, there is a suppressed emotion or wound triggered inside of me. Then I have to work with that wound. But also, if you have taken all those steps and also worked with those wounds, then the next step is to just stay present with the triggers. You don't have to do anything anymore. You don't have to understand it anymore. You just have to recognize it. This is how being triggered feels. This means that there is a growth step for me here. And that is the invitation to stay present with the traumas and the triggers. Just recognize them. Just let them go through the body in the present moment and create a pause. And now you have covered all these layers, so you know yourself, you understand what happens, you know your triggers, you know how you normally would respond. And then, finally, you have increased your emotional level of tolerance because you have now created a pause. This awareness creates a pause. And now you can choose to respond differently. You can breathe, chew the sensations and the triggers, and choose to respond differently. And then you can choose to communicate, for example, hey, this is what is happening inside of me now. You can choose to stay in connection with the people around you and the world around you. And of course with yourself. And then you can choose to behave and respond differently. Choose different behavior. Behavior that helps you create change. So having a healthy emotional tolerance level means that you know yourself on a deep level on all these layers: cognitive, your past, emotionally, your protection mechanisms, that you know yourself on all these layers, and that you know your vulnerabilities and how you normally responded to those vulnerabilities inside of you to protect yourself, to keep yourself safe. But working through them helps you to create safety inside your body, and from the safety inside yourself, the world becomes a safer place again. The world becomes light again. The world becomes okay. And your reaction to that world will be okay. Will not be dysregulated, will not be stressed, will not be angry, will not create conflict. It will create more peace, clarity, connection, because you are more connected with yourself. So knowing all of this can help you to start with recognizing all that you have learned about yourself in your body in the present moment. And it can help you to create a pause before you react out of that past pain, and to react out of wholeness, out of safety and out of healing. And this will help you in the present moment more and more and faster regulate your nervous system, regulate the dysregulation that you feel emotionally and physically, because you are present with yourself, and presence is the number one key to healing. Presence and connection with yourself and the world around you. And by staying present, helping yourself regulate, don't run away from yourself, connect with yourself and then connect with the world. By creating a pause between stimulus and response, you gain your personal power back. And experiencing personal power is the most important key to healing and transformation. You can create new ways of responding to the world and new ways of responding to yourself. And these new ways help you to slowly over time create the change you long for. Hey there, my name is Myrthe Glasbergen. I'm the founder of Beyond Psychology, and I'm also an occupational health psychologist, life and job coach, intuitive singer and creator. And I am fascinated about the awakening and healing of humanity. I strongly believe that healed people heal the world, and this is why I'm doing everything I can to help heal as many people as possible. So if you're on a journey of self-discovery, personal growth, transformation, healing, and you want to rediscover who you truly are and change yourself in your life, then subscribe to my channel for more videos on all of these topics. And if you want to help spread this message of awakening and healing, then please like this video, share this video, respond to this video, because that will definitely help. In my subscription, you can find a nice link to a free somatic exercise to start your healing journey. And you can also find the link to my online platform and community for self-discovery, healing, transformation, and growth. It's called Heart Journey, and it's here to help you rediscover who you truly are, heal yourself, transform yourself in your life, so that you will use your talents and your gifts to make the world a better place. Thank you for being here, and have a nice day.